What's going on, guys? Welcome to another watch along. I'm Diyar, joined by Hambo and Mike for the Palace versus Burnley game. I'm actually very confident going into this game. I think many Palace fans were until we found out that Zaha is not playing. Hambo, let me quickly get your reactions. Zaha's not playing. Of course, it's going to be a big miss, but surely Palace can still beat this Burnley side with the squad that we've got out today.
Yeah, I don't think there's any excuses for not winning this game, quite frankly. And we really will get to see here just how good a decision it was to bring Eze into the club. We already think it was a good decision, but the idea of dealing of a Palace without Wilfried Zaha is something we probably have to get used to. So today will be a real good test of that. If he can step up and Batshuayi and Ayew can work together as an effective front two, I think we're, arguably could be almost as strong. You're never going to be completely as strong as you are with Wilfried Zaha in your team. He's an exceptional player, one of Palace's best ever, if not best ever. But, this is still a very, very good Palace team.
Yeah, Mike, what do you make of the lineup? Of course, Hambo just mentioned Zaha, but of course, Patrick Van Aanholt is starting ahead of Mitchell. Personally, it might sound controversial, but I would like Mitchell to start because I've talked about him having more potential and him still playing very good before his injury. So I'm a bit disappointed in that aspect. But PVA, he's putting a solid shift last game, and going into this game, you expect the same?
Yeah, it was very hard to drop him. It's harsh on Mitchell. Same as it's a bit harsh on Ward, but I'm happy with Klein and PVA in. I'm happy that Schlupp's on the bench. There was a bit of me thinking when heard about Wilf, I thought, oh well, the 11th man's going to be Schlupp, isn't it? But I think it's the side I'd have picked, so I'm happy enough.
Yeah, I need to go back to Eze. Let me read out your comments before I mention my thoughts on Eze in this game. Mark says, hello, Mark. Irv says, yet another player with COVID. Still feeling positive, says Jensen. Harry's so scared. Tower One Power says, Eze better be starting. Well, he is starting, which is a positive. Our players better step up, says Harry. Eze has a knock. No, Eze's starting. I don't know who said that Eze has a knock, but he's starting as far as I know, unless it...
No, he did have a knock because he didn't play for under 21s, but he's fit to start today. I mean, just the lineup, we don't have it on the screen, but it's the same as last time out. Instead, but Zaha's been replaced by Batshuayi, so that's Guaita in goal, Klein at right back, keeping Joel Ward out the side. Obviously, centre back pairing is Kouyaté and Dan. PVA at left back, you've got MacArthur and Riedewald in midfield. Then obviously Andros Townsend is on the right. Eberechi Eze is on the left, and up top is Batshuayi and Ayew.
Yeah,
four defenders on the bench, though, eh?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned that, let's quickly talk about that. 4 defenders on the bench, Max Meyer nowhere to be seen. I just think it's crazy. I mean, last week you can understand it against Leeds because there were other players there, but now with Zaha injured, you would surely think that you wouldn't use 4 defenders. If they're 1-0 down, who on earth is going to come on from the bench apart from Schlupp and possibly change the game? I feel like we're in a right mess, even if we had Meyer there. But right now, without Meyer, it is looking scary in that aspect. And I don't understand why we need 4 defenders on the bench because let's be realistic, we're not going to use them all unless Roy Hodgson goes crazy.
Well, no, I mean, you can only make 3 subs anyway, can't you? So we're definitely not going to use them. It does seem insane. Maybe there's further fitness issues we're not aware of, but it just, the midfield, if you get an injury to MacArthur or to Riedewald, you've basically got Jeffrey Schlupp playing central midfield, and you know how I feel about that. So I did pick up on. I suppose Kouyaté can come up into mid. That's a really good point. That's the one thing I hadn't thought about. Kouyaté can move back into midfield, and you could bring on one of the multiple centre back options. So
yeah,
that's a fair point.
I need to quickly release it from my chest about Eze. I feel like this game is the game where we should see the best out of Eze. Of course, I have high expectations from him in general, but against Leeds, because of how they were pressing us, there were spaces open. But in this game, Eze is meant to be that player that is calm on the ball, composed on the ball, can pick out the passes, can roam around. So in this game in particular, even without Wilf, I'm expecting a big performance from him because I know he can do it. And it's showing the stats right now. He's ranked first in the championship last season for QPR in games, goals, assists, and chances created. And in this game, I know he can do, and fingers crossed he can prove everyone wrong and show another thing which Jensen said, which is that show people that we're not a one-man team. We're not Wolford Zaha FC. Of course, he's our best player, but with the likes of Eze, it shows that we are actually a proper football team and that he can actually create as much of a big miss that Zaha is.
Well, we won a couple of games last season without him, didn't
Exactly.
we? I think IU filled in his place pretty well, so hopefully the same again today. Quickly mention Eddie Howe on Monday Night Football, CPFC Abbey. Yes, that's surely a sign that he's going to replace Hodgson at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Well,
I was going
no,
to say I would have commented further on that until I saw Steve Parrish's interview midweek, where he was talking about Roy's kind of view of the future on players and particularly the youth, and that was the bit where I had to bite my tongue a little bit. So we won't get into that. I do want to mention the fact that we are probably slightly behind you at home. We synced up our end, but the game is currently on 17 seconds, as I said that, just so you're aware. If you want to slightly pause your TV and wait for us to catch up. If you don't worry about it, but try not to spoil too much in the chat for us. I just want to go back as well to Jacob's question. I've got to say you're going to say your surname with a flourish because I'm not 100% sure how to say it. So I reckon if I just launch straight into it, it'll be fine. So it's Jacob Fiele. So I'm going to go with that. And he asked, how do you think the strikers are going to play? Genuinely, I'm really fascinated to see what's going to happen. Just the link up between Ayew and Batshuayi. It has the potential, in my view, I don't know about you, gents, but to be something really special because Ayew's got great movement, works really, really hard, but he isn't constantly in the box looking for that strike on goal. Whereas obviously Batshuayi does give you that. So if the two of them link up like in theory they can, we're going to be very, very dangerous today, I reckon. Ooh,
Shot from was that Klein there? Yeah,
Klein having a go.
Just to come back to that, ticks over by Pope there. I'd quite like to see Eze and Ayew swapping because Ayew played quite a deep role against Leeds and it was really effective. So if there's a bit of that, I'll be a happy man.
Eze needs freedom this game. I don't care if he plays on the left-hand side, as long as what he had against Leeds, where he could go in central areas. If you can do that this game, then I have no worries. I didn't ask for your score prediction. I know we're like nearly 2 minutes in, but what do you guys think is going to happen this game? Personally, I thought 3-0, but even with Wilf out, 2-0 Palace win.
I've gone 1-0 Palace. I think it's not going to be... My gut says it's not going to be the most fascinating of games. But... when you go back to the Leeds performance, we attacked really, really well in that game, and we're a little bit just seeing players falling over and panicking there. But yeah, I think we attacked so well. Losing Wilf would have disrupted that a little bit. So I just feel, we'll probably get a goal, and I fancy us for a clean sheet today. And I'm sorry in advance for jinx and everything.
Yeah, Mike.
I'm going to go for 1-0 Burnley, just so I can.
Oh, jeez, come on, man. We just came up like a 4-1 victory. 1-0 Burnley.
Goalkeeper there, Tarkowski, 1-0.
Oh, jeez. All right. TBFC Abby says 2-0 Palace. Yeah, let's get some of your score predictions. Callum 3-1 Palace. Tim says 2-0 Palace. And Jacob says a Hamburg for you. It's pronounced Verli.
Yeah, I know, but isn't it more fun the way I said it? Try it for a week.
You more
see how you get on.
Yeah,
exactly. Because also, Fairley sounds too much like our producer Mikey's surname, Fairley.
Yeah,
and nobody wants to sound like him.
Well, look, I've been pronouncing my name wrong for 20 years because I realized that the Turkish pronunciation is different. So, it doesn't matter.
Which part?
It's Diyar.
Diyar.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds Irish. Burnley going down their left in the early stages. Decent amount of the first 3 minutes, or certainly the last minute or so, have been in our third. But looking comfortable enough.
Yeah, I think so. And again, you can see without the ball, we're closing a lot of space. Eze's pretty much on the left side of the pitch at the moment. So we're not going exactly gung ho with it, are we? So not that you'd ever expect that for Palace, but I think just feels again we had an early opportunity with that Klein shot, but I think genuinely the game plan will be to just keep it a little bit tight. Burnley have really struggled this season so far. We don't want to hand them too much of an initiative, and that's where the balance is. If we just give them too much of the ball and too much confidence, yes, it gives us a better chance to counter-attack them and score a goal, but for me, I worry when we give teams confidence, particularly teams that have been struggling, because if they get that sense that they can just take a few more risks because we're not going to punish them, then then it could be a very bad result and a bad night for us.
In the opposition preview, when talking to the Burnley fan, and it seemed like Burnley are in a similar place to Palace in terms of what happens when they're 1-0 up. They go and
Rodriguez broke through there, or as Eddie Howe refers to him, J-Rod, seemed to break our offside trap pretty easily there.
Yeah, Diyar, what I was shaking my head at as you were speaking there was exactly that he just got away from the defence way too easy. He's just run past Klein. Klein hasn't really seen him, and
in fairness, Dan's played them offside. He's the one that was 5 yards behind the rest of the defenders. So I'm not sure I can blame Klein for that, but
he ran from in front of Klein behind him, so that's why I pick him out for not.
Oh God, yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, look, he said two things I'll pick up there. He talked about Rodriguez. He said that Rodriguez needs to start for them to beat Palace because he's been one of them players who hasn't had the opportunities, but when he has played, he's been good. So he's starting, and we saw his contribution there. And another thing that he said is that when they're 1-0 up or if they're 1-0 down, the game's pretty much over. It's that simple. It seems like exactly what happens at Palace. When we're 1-0 up, we tend to win games. When we're 1-0 down, we tend to lose games. So whoever scores first in this game is going to be that simple that they're most likely to win based on how
unless nobody scores and we get bored to death in the next 84 minutes. What do you think?
Yeah.
If that's the case, I've chosen the wrong game to not drink.
How long have you been not drinking for? One day?
Just today.
Yeah, just today. Yeah. Just so you know, I'm into my ninth week of no drinking. Just picture that 9 weeks.
Good Lord. I don't think that's happened to me for about 15 years.
15 years. Yeah, that's mad. Let's get some of your comments as well. Back to score, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully he's not offside this time because I feel bad for the guy. Every time he scores a goal, he's offside. Would he be happy with a draw? No. Simple as that. It's no. We need to beat this Burnley side. I don't care if Wilf's out. We have got good enough players. So there's no real excuses. Massive
free kick from the left-hand side here. Sorry, just a bit of pressure from Burnley, knocking it back.
Yeah,
we've gone a little bit within ourselves again here, just sort of sucking up a bit of pressure. Oh, that's poor. That's poor.
Oh, no.
So yeah, Chris Wood picking up on some absolutely awful defending from Palace. I think it started with a really weak header from Kouyaté, and I just don't know how. Chris Wood, I like him as a forward, but he's got no pace on him. So how he's managed to get away there, I'm just not sure. He's just walked away from the defence. So we're looking here.
It feels so simple. Yeah.
So it's a long ball forward as the ball came in. So the header's really poor from Kouyaté. Rodriguez just put it behind Dan. By the time Dan's turned around, Wood's three yards in front of him. Flicked off Dan's shoulder, to be fair. So, yeah.
BV has nowhere to be seen as well. But
he shouldn't have to be. You go back to the old adage, mark a player. Dan's only got Wood to think about in that scenario, and he's not looking where he is. So, for me, that's poor from both centre backs. Terrible header from Kouyaté, just absolutely awful. And then Dan has done nothing to cover himself in glory at all. Caught between Rodriguez and Wood. So yeah, there was so much wrong as we didn't get ourselves organised. We had plenty of time when Burnley were sort of building up for that attack. Centre backs way apart from each other, not picking up players.
Yeah. I mean, we've been. It's only 8 minutes gone by, but there already were signs after 2-3 minutes defensively. So, yeah, I mean, it's.
Well, you said it. Yeah. You said it, Diyar, didn't you? You know, we're great if we go 1-0 up. When we go 1-0 down, that's when the frustration comes because we just don't tend to change anything. So you'll see that now. You know, we've conceded a goal, but we're going to have the exact same approach for the next 70 minutes, and you know, hope that we get an opportunity in that, and it'll only be later on that we do anything to change it.
The difference is, but this is Burnley's first home goal of the season. Will they get nosebleeds and do what we usually do and stand off? This isn't the Burnley team that were impossible to break down a couple of seasons ago. So let's see if they implode a bit.
Look, they've been awful going forward, and that's the one area which we've been solid at defensively. And yet again, after 8 minutes, we conceded a very poor goal. You can say that, Scott, Dan, Kouyaté, this, but just poor defensively, like just in general, all over the place. And we started the game off like that as well. We had the warning signs in the first 4 minutes with Rodriguez running behind. So it's not a good start. It's only 10 minutes that's gone by and we're 1-0 down, but I haven't seen anything going forward so far. And
jeez, have you just seen that stat that's come up? Touches in box for the season, Zaha 49 for Palace. Other than that, IU 12, Batshuayi 11, Eze 11.
That's why
that doesn't fill you with confidence, does it, in what's going to happen today? So Batshuayi and IU have really got to step up their game here to cover the fact that Wilf's not in. Burnley in again down the right-hand side. Rodriguez just absolutely embarrassing our defending. Kouyaté again looking...
Oh, my days. What the...
Kouyaté just got J-rodded.
There's not Kouyaté, it's Palace. We're getting J-rodded all over the place. You guys running through us like they're not even there, like they're dummies or something. Look at him.
He's nutmegged him.
Look at that.
Basie, no, Palace are the worst team in London.
It's I don't know. Do you think blue and white, possibly some prepubescent Chelsea fan? I don't know. But you'd wonder why. They do it every week, don't they? Opposition fans that come in and make comments that don't really add anything to the equation. Really,
I mean, arguably you're forgetting Charlton, but more than that, it's you that's come to a Palace watch through. So, jokes on you, Basie.
Yeah, you're the dick having to listen to this.
Possible in midfield. Got it back again, Burnley. They've been very good at the start of the game. You would think that they're not 19th in the league. They've probably got a bit of confidence after they saw that Zaha's not playing, but still.
Eddie Howe said that himself, didn't he? He said it always gives you a lift as an opposition manager if Zaha's not in the Palace lineup. But we've got to get past that really, and we talked about it before we kicked off, and we're seeing it in evidence now. We're 12 minutes in only, but as yet, the sort of movement and the touch and the intent up front hasn't been there.
No, I don't think Zaha would have made any difference so far. No.
Well, quite possibly. Yeah. I mean, look, we're kicking it long as well, which is potentially a concern against Burnley. But good control there. We're on the attack here. Van Aanholt's got the ball. To Townsend, who's come right in off the right hand side again, playing very central.
They're tight. Now let's see. Yeah. This is where I want to see Eze just roll him around. Don't stay out wide. Just go into central areas.
Well, absolutely right.
Yeah, look at this. It's going to be hard to break them down.
He's just been out muscled there. Maybe in the Championship you get away with that a little bit, but you've got to just defenders are just that little bit more solid, that little bit more clever in the Premier League. But nice attempt, nice effort to try and get something done by beating a player, but it's not really come off for us.
Yeah. I mean, if we play long balls all game, then from goal kicks, then just forget about it. We haven't got Benteke up there. I don't know why we do that when we don't have a player who's good up in the air.
Yeah, as we always say, as soon as we put him on, we stop doing it. So
it makes no sense. But
we're just rushed in possession at the moment. We've just lost that composure. You think back to the Leeds game where we didn't have a huge amount of the ball, but when we had it, we were sharp, we were composed, we were making the right choices, and we weren't being rushed in possession either. If we had to go backwards, we'd go backwards. But right now, there's no real rhythm. So every time we're getting the ball forward, and we're just trying to rush that pass, trying to play quick one-touch football, and it's too easy when Burnley are getting numbers back. And the fact that we're not even closing, we're not really pressing at all anywhere in their half. So you can see it now. Burnley have been able to bring their back line right up to the halfway line, And with all due respect, this is Burnley. You know,
Yeah.
this is Burnley. Absolutely, they haven't got a point at home all season, and we're treating them like they're Barcelona.
Honestly, Hambo, I told them, the Burnley fan in opposition preview, that it would be so Palace if we treat them like they're Barcelona. And he started laughing. He probably thought I was joking. But I told him this, and he's probably laughing now, thinking, what on earth is this? They're giving us way too much respect. We haven't got this respect all season long.
Yeah.
I told him this.
But Baymet with a question, called Chris Wood scoring. Is it just me or does it seem like Wood's got a good scoring record against us? I think that as well. I certainly remember one, I think it was the season before last.
Well, he goes in that long list of players that we had a slight interest in, so will always play well against us. But having said that, I was happy to see him and not Ashley Barnes because, you know, it's widely known that we make Ashley Barnes look like Messi when he plays against us as well. So there's something about Burnley, the style they play, and you know that we kind of emphasise the best parts of their strikers. But
they switched now, anyways. Rodriguez is playing like Messi instead of Barnes. Literally.
I mean, I can't remember our defence looking so rattled.
They look so confused out there.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, against Chelsea maybe, but this is different. They just look petrified.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you'd usually expect if we were dealing with like a mobile, quick front line, you'd think, okay, Kouyaté and Dan, not the quickest, probably might struggle a little bit. But realistically, they're up against the type of player that they're used to being up against, that their characteristics suit. You know, they're strong, direct, and you'd back Dan and you'd back Kouyaté to win those duels, but they aren't. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Amber, but there's just no one there in midfield. Like, what's happening going forward? There's no one. Like, someone has to come and pick up the ball. It seems like we're just playing individual rather than a team football right now. Like, it just
goes back to it, doesn't it? They are, you know, we had a plan. We start the game with that plan. We won't change that plan until we absolutely have to. So. And at the moment, I don't know about you two, but I'm trying to figure out what we're trying to do here.
We're trying to loft up balls to Batshuayi from what I've seen, or to Ayew, and just pray to God that it lands in their feet. And then from then on.
Oh dear, this is just. I mean, we've got away with it.
Oh my days!
It's just, as you're saying, Mike. It's almost panic straight away in every sort of moment of defending. They're winning headers way too easy. You know, the balls into the box are just hitting hope as well. So why we're struggling so much to cope with that is, although we're a yard off them, aren't we, pace wise?
Yeah, more than that. They're beating what I didn't realise we even had an offside trap until today. But it's not that often that teams do that against us. In fairness, it's probably a little bit of a shock. I'd say that's Burnley's tactic, but it's not worked this season so far, has it? They've only got 2 points. So,
well, apparently, according to Lone Star Londoner, this Burnley team are absolutely up for it. And no, that's not it. We know they're up for it. But there was a stat out there that Burnley's led for 10 minutes. Yeah, it's from Lone Star Londoner. That Burnley have led for 10 minutes in the Premier League this season until now.
Yeah. And also that it took Burnley 30 shots to score a home goal in the league this season.
He's our stat guy. He's our official
love it as well, mate. Keep it coming. Really enjoying it. But I have to say, that's one of our things as a club. If you think about the things that make it typical Palace, when there's a record to be broken by the opposition, usually a record that shows them that they're terrible, we are there to help. We are there to end any runs without wins. We are there to end any runs without people scoring. We will help you. Trust me.
Yeah. Look, we're just lofting. Like, this must be our game plan. It can't be Vicente keep lofting the ball up there. Like, it must be instructions from Roy that just keep, you know, trying to give it to Michi directly. It's not going to work.
No, well, look,
against Burnley of all teams as well. They're the team you don't play up long balls because they have got an aerial plays.
But it just feels to me like we've given a team too much respect. We've tried to match them up in both formation and style to some degree, haven't we? You know, they are very much 4-4-2, play direct, and we've thought play them at their own game, and I don't really understand why. Because I suppose the difficulty we have is, if you think about the way we played against Leeds and the way we've played our best football this season, has always been on the counter attack, isn't it? But Burnley aren't going to do that. They're not a patient passing side. They will hit direct into channels. They will put pressure on you. But if we try and counter them, there's no counter ever on because their players are back. So we just have to think differently and a bit more creatively, and that's why you'd like to have seen a bit more thought in how we've approached this one. But
what minute are you guys on exactly, by the way?
1954.
Okay, you're like 5 seconds ahead of me.
Well, that's your problem.
Nice.
Here goes PV8 crossing it. Oh, awful cross.
Oh, he should have took a shot. He should have took a shot.
Yeah, exactly. He could have crossed like that. Shoot across the keeper. See what happens.
If you want, Hamber, Mike, you can pause for like 4 seconds if you're feeling generous. If you're not, then.
Oh, I don't really want to. I'm going to, but here we go. Ready, Mike? Ready?
Yeah.
What time are you pausing at?
Now, I've just put 2, 3, 4, and a bit. I've unpaused.
All right, 25, 26. 27.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, awful corner. I'm paused right time. We lost the ball.
Yeah. I mean, let's see if those things being said in the chat are true, but I don't think they are.
I'm never looking.
Diyar, can you get the block out if you can? Just get it ready, because we've got a lot of booting people out of chat. You can do that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've got a few you're going to have to sort out there.
Oh,
pretty much pretty much everybody talking.
If you're spamming 1-1. Sam and Elizabeth, just stop because
Sam is a Wolves fan. I don't know what the hell Elizabeth is, but not a Palace
Chelsea
fan. And of course, Daisy from earlier can go as well. You can watch along, you can say things, but just don't be boring.
Yeah.
Here we go. Still 1-0.
Yeah, Lone Star says Rodriguez is having a great game, and exactly they were looking forward to this game with Rodriguez starting. That's all they wanted. Well, the Burnley fan I'm speaking to, because he said that he's that threat, and he's shown it. He's been the best player going forward, and our defense looks absolutely lost out there.
Is he not playing for them then?
No, he hasn't really played as much. Apparently, I don't watch Burnley, so I don't.
From injury or just from not being selected?
I think not being selected. That's why he's been annoyed. So
yeah, I think they've gone with the sort of tried and trusted, haven't they? The Barnes Wood partnership worked really well for them last year. But hasn't been working as well this year. Oh, great play!
That's
so strong there. Play the advantage.
Brilliant. That's what I want.
It's in. Oh my god!
That's what. Damn, my throat is dry. But that's what I'm looking for. Like, he can do this. He is this guy. Run down the left-hand side, go into central areas, and you just have to give him the runs, and he'll pick out the passes. Brilliant pass of Anano. Oh my days, Michi.
Would he have been offside? Because I'm not sure if he went a little too early.
I mean, it's Michi, so probably yes.
That's why he probably went so late, because worried about being offside 90% of the time he scores. Oh, Michi. 1 second earlier. If he made that run 1 second earlier.
He'd been even more offside, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. But there you go. Look, it's a really basic game today, isn't it? It's both sides trying to pick up the percentages from hitting it long in a minute. Just expect better from Palace. At the moment, you just feel almost get into half time and try and change something, because it's not going to change on the pitch at the minute. But we've, that little bit of play there, Eze taking a bit of a risk to get past someone, showing some good strength, good advantage from the referee. It shows we can break them down. We can get in. We're just not putting enough pressure on the ball to do it on a regular basis. So we're at that position where we're going to have to take one of, a very small number of chances to get anything from this game.
Yeah. Just for a time check, I'll let you guys know when it's 24, and I'll say now. You have about 10 seconds when it's 24 minutes, because some people want time check in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
I've seen it. I'm not too sure who it was.
3.
So now.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're
24.
Yeah.
A question for everyone. When was the last time that we were 1-0 down and 1-2-1?
19.
Was it the Stoke game? Was it a Wolves game? I don't think we did it last season.
Have we done it under? What's the stat under Roy? When we were 1-0 down.
We've done it under Roy. I distinctly remember.
We have, when?
I think it was the season before last.
Watford at home, was that under Roy? I remember that game, but that was a while.
Yeah. That's a great one. That's a great shot. Take me back to those days. You know,
you're reminiscing.
West Ham game, Boxing Day, 2-1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that. Take me back to that day.
Yeah. Apologies, Spencer.
Jordan Ayew's goal.
My brain melted because of Jordan Ayew. Best thing I've ever seen in live. Oh,
I didn't even celebrate.
And that amazing video of that West Ham fan on his birthday getting given his cake.
Yeah.
Oh, that would cheer me up. I might watch that half time just to erase the memory of this so far.
Yeah, talking about this game once again, it's just Vicente gets the ball and he boots it up there just to know, but it's annoying. It's really annoying.
Look, credit where it's due as well, because Burnley aren't. Then they're getting players forward. That 4-4-2 becomes a 4-2-4 quite rapidly when they want it to. Right? That's a bit of bravery there as well. We don't really do that. That 2 banks of 4 approach that we do game in, game out. Again, brilliant when we get ourselves ahead and we take a chance. But when we're trying to get back into a game, it really restricts us. You just see it there. Eze's had to sprint 25, 30 yards to try and close someone down in the right back position. That's not really pressure, because he can take his time, pick his pass, and just knock it to one side, because the forwards aren't doing the same thing. You can't have one player closing one other player, and the rest of the team doesn't do that job. It's very disjointed from Palace. It doesn't seem like everyone's on the same page here.
Yeah, wait. Eze's coming in deep now to try to pick up the ball, but we boot it once again. I think that's Jordan now. He controls it. All right, yeah, keep the ball. Keep it. Finally. Jeez. All right. Let's see what we
should have done that. Should have done that before we were 1-0 down.
Like 25 minutes ago. Oh, and we just what's that pass? Come on, Maka. Was that Maka?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Got it back. Question: who so far has sort of shone? Been a diamond in the turd?
Come on. Who shone?
I mean, nobody. Eze's done a couple of good things, but you can't say anybody's shone, can you? As a team, they're kind of bringing each other down at the moment. There's been the occasional nice bits of football, and you could say the biggest positive is we're only 1-0 down. So
bringing each other down, that's the mantra for my ex-wife, I think, to be honest.
We need to win this. Come on.
Well, instead of commentating on this, can we have a commentary of how that went?
Well, I'll tell you what I can tell you about. I just got a text from my electric company saying that my meter is urgently out of date and I need to replace it. And it's the first time I've heard about it.
Oh no, Michi. This guy just can't score. Is there a curse on him? Like every time
he scored this week for Belgium.
Yeah, but then when he comes to Palace, he's just cursed. Like every time he scores, it's either offside or the ball just doesn't want to go in. Like how close?
Look at that as well. It seems it's almost on target for about 3/4 of the trajectory, and then it just curls away.
People, you've been here to see Diyar's voice unbreak just then.
Oh my days! Every time. It's
Mike, sorry, I just want to get to the point, Diyar. It's a really important point. What electric company are you with, mate?
So I'm with Bulb. Because they're the ones that they're the ones that provide sustainable only energy. But yeah, guy came to read them. I'm sure there's others. Guy came to read the meet the other day. And he's like, this is well out of date. And, I'm an electrical specialist. Yeah, I know exactly. I'd noticed. I just hadn't brought it up. He's like, yeah, but you've got to declare this. I was like, shouldn't they know? I don't know. And so now I've got an urgent request to ring them. It's like they can't ring me.
Well, as you know, Mike, I know a lot about the utilities industry, and I think we can pause the football chat. I'll just take you through the meter code of practice, and we can start.
I don't think we should.
Okay.
I mean, it's been boring. I'll admit it's been boring watching this game because we haven't created anything. And just like 20 seconds ago, the best thing was Michi's shot. But let's not talk about the electric code of rules or whatever.
Is it my fault? That's what I'm basically in a nutshell?
No.
Is it me?
What was the last game we watched with you? Just out of interest,
Chelsea.
Mike.
Chelsea 4-0, wasn't
it? That didn't go well, did it? What about before that? Did you watch the United game with us?
No.
Are you basically saying you think that I'm
basically saying if you can fuck off at half time,
you've got your electric meter to sort anyways.
Quickly find a Roy Hodgson apologist to replace me at half time.
Well, that's going to be hard. But Townsend, a good point, Bo. Townsend is so frustrated. He's taken up a role centrally. Michi's so unlucky there. I forgot Townsend was playing.
Yeah, well, he is. He's only coming off that wing continuously because we're not really using any width. We're just, there's no overload anywhere. We're just kind of evenly spread out the pitch, which, is, I suppose we're taking up good positions defensively, but on the attack, it doesn't really give you anything because it's just too easy for Burnley to pick us up. We created a little bit, but it's just moments. I mean, that Batshuayi chance is a decent chance, but it's not what you'd call I don't know how it would be considered in terms of expected goals.
Sorry, my eyes just deceived me. That's why I started shouting.
That's fine. I'm used to you making random noises throughout the entire thing. So
I wonder what my neighbours think. Just like
another long ball into the channel. Push from Wood there. I don't know if anything will be given there, but I guess not. I guess it's not really worth it.
I can safely say I will not be watching Wolves Southampton if we lose this game.
I won't be watching even if we win this game. But yeah, another long ball from the centre is coming.
I've genuinely got to go out immediately after this, and if this carries on, you might see me leave early. At half time, what I'll do is I'll prepare a picture of myself and just have it against the camera. Then I'll just leave.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
What's going on? What is going on? I mean, all you have to do is open your mouth and talk. Is it that hard? Like
Kuate is having a mare today, isn't he? I mean, he's been so dependable this season, but he is having a proper off day.
I think the whole defence is Scott down as well. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, I don't know. You can't really blame it all on one thing, and I'm sure we didn't find out about it really late about the Zaha thing. But we are playing like a team that genuinely had a plan and an approach, and then had to change it in the last second, and just aren't sure what to do.
But defensively, you can't use that excuse.
Look at that centre now, though, right? Look at our central. I mean, MacArthur's had to go right over there. There's no Burnley player for 20 yards in a big circle around Gyro. They're just not bothering to occupy that space. So, logic tells you there's somewhere else on the pitch not being picked up, and that's consistent. They're overloading different sides, leaving great big areas where we have, 2 or 3 players at a time, just not really doing anything other than taking up a position and marking space. You've got to have that logic, that in-game management to understand what that means. That means you're leaving people exposed elsewhere. And if you don't go with players and you don't follow runs or you don't position yourself accordingly, we'll get caught again.
Oh my days!
Are we going to get caught again? Nearly.
Oh, honestly, what the fuck is going on? I'm so lost. I am so lost watching this team play. But Prediction County says, you're not ready for the Gunners if you're playing like this, lads. But we just drew with the team you beat 4-1 due to Pepe's masterclass. Well, look, you know what? I'm actually not as worried about facing Arsenal. It's a weird team.
Yeah, I think Arsenal and Leeds are exactly the only time there's teams that we seem to our current formation and tactics play well against.
Exactly.
It's this sort of it's a bit like watching England against Liechtenstein about 5 years ago. It's just there's nothing going on.
I just want to pick up on V Flynn as well, saying he's thinking about changing his points prediction for the next 5 games from 13 to 3. Yeah, I permit that entirely, and I'm right behind you there. I think
start on 3, and then you can't be disappointed. Like start on 13.
To ensure no disappointment, you start on 0. But you've got to give something, haven't you?
Yeah. I'd like to know who the 3 is against as well. West Brom?
It's 3 draws, isn't it? 3 draws.
I can't see us getting anything against Newcastle playing anything like this.
But the thing is, games that we don't expect anything, we get something, and games we do expect things from, like this game, we get nothing.
Oh my days, we are.
I wasn't expecting anything from this game.
That's why I'm disappointed.
I maintain what I said before. There's no excuse not to win this game. If we've got any designs on being, what we call ourselves, a team pushing for the top 10 in the Premier League. This is not how a team pushing for the top 10 in the Premier League with the best squad it's ever had for this manager. This is not how they play football against a team that's struggled all season. This is yet again us getting it completely wrong and absolutely having no idea what to do about it. So that this is the bit that gets me. And we're going from game to game at the moment where we're like, hooray, we've sorted it out, it's great, and then it's terrible again, and then it's hooray, and then terrible, and then hooray, and terrible. And if that isn't a recipe for severe mental illness as a football fan, I don't know what is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, wasn't it? Was it Burnley at the start of the Project Restart where they beat us 1-0 that sort of started the and it wasn't it. That little rap.
We got a shot. We got a shot. That's a positive.
Shot on target.
Yeah, shot on target.
Yeah, was it a McNeil goal that we lost 1-0?
Actually, I can't remember. I don't want to think about last season, especially towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, I blocked that from my memory completely. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the season stopped after the Bournemouth game at restart. We won that. Everyone said Europe, and then we immediately were terrible until the last game. We got a point. Yeah. Just strike that from my memory, because then you have to think about all the things that we just did that were insane during that run. But anyway,
that doesn't feel right. Apparently, we've had more shots on target than Burnley. We've had the same amount of shots, and Burnley is dominating 56% possession. That doesn't sound like Burnley, unless Jordan Dyche changes tactics. I don't think Burnley is the type of team to get 50.
Just to pick up, and this is, by the way, this is if you're an opposition fan, this is how you do things, right? He set up the clarets, which is fine. And then he's pointed out what we're thinking about. Ben Mee with that header from the edge of the box. You're absolutely right, Ben. It was Ben Mee, and he's a player I got a lot of time for as well. He's a very good player. But yeah, distressingly, it was him who scored that goal.
This is the positions. Yes, nice pass. Overlap. Oh, Andros. He just loves cutting in with the left foot. Oh my days. There's a reason for that, because he loves that foot.
Decent effort. I mean, a lot of frustration in that shot as well, you think, because he really has hit that. And it's a good save, but you'd expect Pope to make that save. But Andrews struggling to get in the game, isn't he? So
yeah, I don't mind that. Good shot, good save, corner. Better do something better than what we had last time around. Oh, Andrews is taking it instead of Eze. Let's see.
But I guess we're going for the out swinger.
Jeez, let's not even talk about that corner. It was meant to be a corner. It went out nearly on a Burnley counter attack, but we still got the ball. All right.
So PVA now. Here's Townsend, right-footed cross into
the
box.
Ball.
Decent ball. What's happened there?
All right, I'm liking this.
I'll check that. Just a few comments while it does. Palace were asleep at the wheel. Lone start up. Yeah. Oscar Hamlin, Chris's long-lost son, who are the dark horses of the season.
There's no G there. I mean, I've got no time for no G. Come on. Ben
Livingston, you've been all over us. I'm not sure I agree with that, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm not too sure if you're trying to be nice, but I don't think so.
I'm always polite when I do like the away thing for Burnley podcast, because I think like Burnley are proper fans, and it just shows that you got a Burnley fan watching a Palace talk through. Someone that loves their club and just wants another opinion. Do you think Palace will bring it back?
Yeah. Do I think that? I don't think that. It's just hope at the moment. Having said that, the last few minutes have been a lot better, and you just have to ask what changed. What is it? Has some message coming from the sidelines that's made a difference? I hope so, because if we can just build this pressure up towards the end of the half. I mean, obviously, ideally, a goal before half time would just absolutely. I mean, we'd be getting out of jail, but it makes things so much easier. But we don't have a great record about coming from behind in games and getting anything, do we?
I'm liking these crosses from Andros. I'm liking it. But
Yeah,
what was that bad trick? Oh God!
Was that Van Aanholt? That was terrible.
It was. Jeez.
He's been really poor. In the final third, really poor.
Yeah, Mitchell should have started this game. I'll stick by that.
Yeah, but I mean, even though he had such a decent game last game.
But even before the game started, like he's our main man going forward. PVA is nearly going to turn 30. Like PVA is a good squad player, but I would still want to see Mitchell start. I want to see Mitchell grow because he has got the talent, just like PVA. But the thing that PVA hasn't got is the potential that Mitchell's got. He's been good.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think that's where the game's. I actually, in terms of what's being said in the chat there, Bo's just said that Townsend is grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck, and others need to feed off that energy. And I completely agree with that. And maybe that came from a shout because he just wasn't really in the game. But the last 5 minutes, he's just been everywhere. That intensity. I mean, I talk about that. I've tried to stop saying the word. I talk about it so much, but that's the minimum personally that I expect of my team. When I watch Palace, I want intensity, I want tempo, I want ambition, I want all of those things to be shown in how much effort the team put in. And I think at times we're just so passive because we try and conserve energy, which is a totally acceptable tactic, right? It's you do have to conserve energy. You can't run all game every game.
Oh my days.
Jesus.
What's wrong with Vicente's put today, man?
He looks annoyed. He didn't want that ball. I sort of imagine that Troy Townsend, the legend that is Troy Townsend, sitting somewhere in the ground. He's managed to blag it in. He's just shouting, "Son, can play better."
Yeah, and it's finally reached him. Because we said he's quiet, and as soon as we said that, you start getting into the game. So, but look, 41 minutes gone by, still 1-0 Burnley. Positive sign from Palace for the last 5 to 7 minutes, but yeah, we just need to create more clear-cut chances. But yeah, let's see how we defend this corner.
FTBL02, was that the hate to say I'd bring on Benteke at half time? At least he would try and get at the end of these balls. I think you mean from Townsend. It says in my Townsend. Balls in my Townsend is an unfortunate autocorrect. But an enjoyable one nonetheless. Look. And Lone Star Londoner disagree with me. Can't run all game. Tell Liverpool that. Fair point. All right. I can't expect Palace to run all game.
Guaita is looking uncharacteristically angry. Whether he feels there's some kind of bad communication going on. I think when he just hit that corner out, gloved the corner out, he looked livid.
Well, it's a tough game because Burnley play a certain way. They do rough you up. There's all sorts of stuff that goes on off the ball. I'm not saying they're that much different to many other teams in that respect, but we do similar at times, but it is a frustrating game for you have to really be up for the battle in terms of the defensive setup, and we have been poor defensively. Guaita can see that better than anybody. Yeah, he just went sliding off the pitch, didn't he? But whether or not somebody did that, let's have a look.
Oh, cheeky push from Dwight there. Cheeky.
Well, we were just talking about it, weren't we? That's what I mean. Just those little things here and there. Like I say, lots of teams do it, but it's just a little bit. Yeah, it just winds people up. It can take your mind off the game, and I think we have had our minds off the art of defending today.
Which is absolutely uncharacteristically Hodgson. So let's not say that this is poor tacticians defensively.
But he will talk about the difference being individual mistakes again, which how I feel about when he says the same things over and over.
Yeah.
So you'll excuse a poor performance with an individual mistake, and it's not been an individual mistake that has led to this poor performance. And this is.
I would say it's been an individual 4 of the 4-4-2, or maybe even both 4s out of the 4-4-2.
Here we go. A little bit of intent here. Navi pass in, but it's a little bit heavy out. But here we go again into MacArthur, who's got forward into the box, which is incredible to see. And we'll see more of that. Back out to Eze, lovely little feet, crossed the back post too long.
Slipped as he was crossing there. A bit of eye of the needle there. So it's going to be tough to go through the middle against Burnley, especially when we're playing. It's a slow build up. I can't see that being very fruitful.
But that is what we have to do. We have to move the ball. We have to, take risks. We have to get players forward. See MacArthur take up a position in the box there. No, you don't want him there all game. But you just have to have him. You have to have players willing to make that step. Roy looks frustrated, but who do you blame, Roy? Do you blame the players or do you blame yourself? Or I just don't think we've got.
I don't think the players
from the start.
But I don't think the players have played good as well, Amber. Like we know, I'm not.
No, I know. I agree that we've been very, very slow, haven't we?
But our approach going forward is just weird as well. So I think there's a mixture of both in this game, really. The defense have been poor. I don't think that's on Roy. But going forward, I mean, what is our approach? We've been hoofing the ball up and it's half time. All right, so
referees brought that to a close straight away on 45, which is probably needed.
Yeah, so thoughts on the first half, guys?
Fuck's sake.
I mean, that's basically it. We can save ourselves a lot of energy just by saying that. Look, you know what? I'm going to try and be diplomatic about it and say that I was very down on it whilst watching it. It wasn't abjectly terrible. It wasn't Chelsea where we did nothing. And I think the last sort of 10 minutes or so of the half, we really showed how we should have approached the game from the very beginning. And that was just committing a few players further forward, just doing that little bit of extra movement. And if Andros can keep that intensity up and a few others can follow him, we should be able to do something in the second half. This cannot be one of those games where we just try and see it out for another solid 10 minutes of the second half and then start to move things. We've got to come out from the off in the second half on the front foot, take some risks, and I can live with it if we come out and play a proper half of football. But if we come out and play like we played the first half overall, then I'll be really, really disappointed.
I'm going to leave on 2 comments. One is from our friend of the pod, Nick, who's just said turf poor, and the other is this isn't our happy place. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, Mike, are you going to take a break?
Yeah, I quite need a piss.
You might as well quickly go and come back, and then we can swap duties.
Have I got time to go to the garage and back? Do you think? It's a 4-minute walk.
Oh yeah, go. Yeah, go.
All right, I'll do that. Diyar, you could deal with some.
But I need the Red Bull, so come back quick. So I need to go and get my Red Bull.
All right, I won't be long.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right then. So I'll continue answering some of the questions while these lot are off to have their little break. Hario says, did they went for Burnley or Palace? I don't know what you mean by that. Did they went for Burnley or Palace? We sport Palace. Maybe you're asking that. Eze is far off a Wilf. I think Mark. I don't think no one's really expecting Eze to be a Wilf, but he has the potential. He has the potential to be a very, very good player. So look, I'll be honest with you. He hasn't had the greatest of games, but I still have high expectations for him. Going into the second half, he has went into central areas, but then passes just hasn't been coming through. But yeah, it was always going to be a difficult game without Wilf, but I still feel like we've got the players and we can do better. As we've seen towards the end of the first half, we can do better and we can find a goal if we go in numbers and if we actually break them down, which potentially in the second half, if we tweak a couple of things, then that could happen. Jay says, disappointed with the first half performance. Yeah, Jay, it was absolutely shambolic. Beef Blin says, come on, lads. The good news is we always play better in the second half. Just ask Roy. That's always going to come with me. If we do end up scoring a goal in the second half, getting a point, it's going to be we played poor in the first half, second half, we got into the game. That's what Roy's going to say. Lone Star Londoner says, too slow, not winning individual battles and 50-50s. Burnley pressing and committed. Sharper. Palace need to get the ball wide and move the ball quickly. 100% agree. Individual battles in defense, we're just not winning that at all. I don't know what's going on, but the whole defense is just shambolic. And just overall, just going forward, there isn't much width. And when we had width of PVA going and overlapping, he hasn't been good. He hasn't been putting the balls in. He's been a bit slow today in his decision making, and it's cost us at times. Prediction County says no Brighton, no party. Okay. And then Harry says, sleep is what I feel about this game. So disappointing. 100% I agree. That's why I need a Red Bull, Harry. I need these guys to come back so I can have something to drink, so I can get a bit of energy. Josh says respect the point. I don't think this game is a respect the point game type of game. They've been poor all season long. I understand that we're not playing Zaha, but when you look at our squad compared to their squad, it's still been, we still got the players to go and win this game. I feel like respecting a point is just being, just picking an easier approach. I guess getting a point from now on might be good because of how poor we've been. But going into this game, we needed the 3 points. We should have got the 3 points, and we've been poor. So Mark says, do you think Schlupp would change things? You know what? I think Schlupp would be a good shout, but it depends on who he takes off. Because when you bring on Schlupp, do you take off Eze? I don't think you should take off Eze. You bring in Schlupp, make sure he has a pace out wide, put Eze in central area, and potentially take off Andros if you had to take off someone. But it's hard. It's hard. Who's going to play down the right-hand side? Because of the formation we play, it makes it difficult. But I'll put in Schlupp. Because we do need the pace out wide. And down the left-hand side, we haven't really had that. But Eze has been okay in the first half, but I want to play him in more central areas. Jay says we need to be playing way better. No excuses. I don't care if Zaha isn't here. We're not Zaha FC. We need to try live without him for once. 100% agree. That's what I said before the game. We're not Zaha FC. We have got the players. We conceded a poor goal, which I'm seeing right now from the highlights. And in the second half, we need to make sure we're more dangerous going forward. So who do you support, speaker? I support Palace. We're a Palace YouTube channel. If you haven't already noticed, like, subscribe, so there is some future content. Jacob says, Riedewald needs the ball more, in my opinion. He can help spark so many good attacks. Yeah, Riedewald hasn't really... I think not in Gyro, both the midfielders, Maka as well, Maka and Gyro, they haven't really had the ball. It's been a weird game because every time we have got the ball from goal kicks, for instance, we boot it up, and sometimes it works, and then the ball lands on Eze's feet or Batshuayi's feet. And when it doesn't work, Burnley have the ball. So we haven't really used our midfielders. Dr. Pepper is in the fridge. Nah, Dr. Pepper is definitely not in the fridge. I don't have Dr. Pepper. Mark says, I think Schlupp would bring a different dimension and problem to Burnley. So, yes. So, Bo says that to Mark. Yeah, I agree. He could, but I just want to see who would come off if Schlupp was to come on in the second half, because I wouldn't take off Eze, and I'm worried that Eze would be the first player to come off. Can't take off Andros, he's just warming up. So V, who would you take off? Would you bring on Schlupp? Would you guys bring on Schlupp in the second half? Leave that in the comments, let me know. Personally, I would, but it wouldn't be for Eze. It wouldn't be for Eze. So maybe a tweak in the formation. Depends on the next 20 minutes. Eze or Zaha off for Schlupp. MacArthur needs to make more penetrating runs and be involved with the front boys. I feel like both Maka and Gyro has been asked just to sit back and cover them in field because they haven't been involved going forward. Like, I can't remember a moment of Gyro picking out a pass or Maka picking out a pass. They have been quiet all game long, so I don't know what's going on. Last time we scored from a corner, this match we can't take a corner, typical Palace. Exactly. Last match we scored from a corner, we scored from free kicks. We were just having a laugh against Leeds. And then this game, yeah, back to route one. And that's why I don't get overexcited from games, because this is what happens. We win some, we lose some. We have the games of our lives, and we have games like this. It's just up and down with Palace. Darcy says, I would put Schlupp on and take off one of the midfielders. Yeah, potentially, but then we might get overrun midfield. It's all about the balance. You want to include Schlupp, but you don't want to lose the balance. You don't want to be too vulnerable defensively, which in this game we have been, even with the two midfielders. So just one of the things. Maybe Roy put Schlupp in midfield, which I know Hamber's not a massive fan of. Henry says, we're doing okay. Just need to take a chance, and we're back in the game. Let's stay positive. Could easily be level. Lone Star. Palace need to start fast second half, not with the pace of the game yet, and it's all too predictable for Burnley. I was going to say, who are the dark horses of this season? Dark horses of the season. Well, Mike, you came at the right time. Who do you think is the dark horses of this season?
What, in the Premier League?
I think so.
I thought Villa initially, but they've gone and ruined my weekend by losing to Brighton. So yeah, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, like Southampton. That's what Lone Star says. Southampton, Everton. I think Everton's a good shout. Who else is up there? Leicester's, I think, up there as well. Even though they lost this weekend, it changes week by week. It's a crazy season, but it's enjoyable anyways. The top six, we're above the top six, the usual top six slot. So yeah, I would bring on Schlupp. So Mike, I've been asking questions about Schlupp. Should we bring him on in the second half? And if we do, who comes off? Because I don't want Eze off, but realistically, if Schlupp was to come on, you'd think Eze is the one to be subbed off, right?
I don't know. I think you could probably sacrifice one of Batshuayi because I think we need to move a bit quicker, and I'm not sure either of those are going to get anything moving faster. So I'd probably.
What do you think he would?
Oh, whether he would is a different matter. Unless he's putting Eze up front. Or Schlupp up front,
I think Schlupp up front is more realistic. I don't think he'll put Eze up front. Do you think Crystal Palace can win this game? Well, I did, but now I'm not too sure. I'm still hopeful that we could get something out of the game if we can improve in the second half, as we usually do. But winning it, I'm not too sure anymore, which if we don't, I think is a poor result. We need to win this game, these type of games. Jay says the defense looks shaky. 100% agree. What do you think that's the reason, Mike? Is it the way that Burnley's playing, or is it just down to the individual errors? Because you're looking at it, I'm thinking of Scott Dan, Checo Kiate, all poor today. And it's uncharacteristic as well.
Well, yeah, I think Burnley
high balls as well. So
yeah, Burnley are doing something that we've not seen too much this season, whacking it up in the air and then using some meaty strikers, which shouldn't be a surprise because they've done it against us before successfully. But it's not something that we particularly had to deal with. Certainly not something that Dan and Kiate together have had to deal with. Plus the fact, been on international duty. Well, not Dan, but Kiate's been on international duty. Whether his head's totally in it today, don't know. You can have an off day, can't you? It's probably a bit of all of those things.
All right. I'm going to quickly go to the loo. You can speak with the chat. You can see the comments, right?
Yeah, I'll carry on.
Yeah. All right, then.
How did we get to?
I'll be back in just a second.
Okay. Prediction county. I'll go Palace 3-1. Burnley usually fall off in the second half. I think we're going to need something different, but as we all know, Hodgson's not quick to change things at half time. I can't remember the last time he changed something at half time. So I think we're going to need to play better in the first 15, 20 minutes. Although, I did just catch a bit of the pundits on Sky just now while Diyar was talking, and they seemed quite positive about Palace. They just said they need to do it more consistently because they were a bit bitty with going forward, which I guess I would agree with. Yes, I'd bring on Schlupp, move it as a behind IU or Batman. Yeah, I think Diyar's probably right. He's likely to put Schlupp up front if he brings him on. Do you think Crystal Palace can win this game? He's covered that. I don't know. Diyar, are you Turkish? Yes, he is. He is a Fenerbahce fan, I think.
He's a Mike, he's a Turkish delight, isn't he?
He is a Turkish delight. Final result. I am worried that it's not going to change, to be honest, prediction county. But I think once we go 1-0 down, I just don't see us at the moment in the past 6 months coming back from it. It'd be great, but it'd be a pleasant surprise. Palace with the last leg of my 10-fold accumulator, or as in the other 9 came in. You don't ever put Palace in your accumulator. Come on now. You don't put Everton in, you don't put Palace in.
Exactly right. That's distressing, isn't it? I feel for you, but as much as I feel for you, it's also your fault this is happening, just so you're aware.
I bet on Palace, Amir. I put money. I always bet on the opposition team. Today I put a bet on Burnley and Palace because I worked out that either way I wouldn't lose. So I've gone with that. Remind me again who's got the captain's armbands. Seems to be 11 different. Yeah, I mean that's true. So obviously the club captain is still Luca. He's obviously both suspended and COVID, and whichever of those two you want to select. So Dan was the. So I guess then it would have been Wilf, who's now got COVID. So is it Dan because he's ex?
It was Luca, Cahill, Wilf, Dan, I think. But I'm not 100%. I didn't really pay attention to that. I assume it's Dan.
We'll try and notice.
Here he is.
Yes.
But so Lone Star London, Burnley are getting runners in behind the fullbacks and pinning the centre halves. I don't feel like they're pinning. I feel like the crosses are coming in and they're just freezing up. Like there's just been a clear chance on. Luckily, they're not too great at finishing, but there's been at least 2 crosses where it's just been the 2 defenders, the Burnley strikers, just been right in the middle of them, which doesn't usually happen.
If you look how they're moving them about, I mean, I understand the pinning them, but they're moving them first. So the gap between Kouyaté and Dan is as wide as I think I've ever seen it. And that's, I mean, go back to the first goal. That's why that happened, because, you know, they split so well and Kouyaté's header was so bad that, you know, there was just no cover there. And just a very, very poor goal. And as I said earlier, it's one that the Hodgson will point out and say it was a couple of individual errors or a bit of bad luck, the way it deflected off of Dan. But, you know, we did that to ourselves, sadly. It wasn't anything clever that happened from Burnley. But, you know, they'll be absolutely delighted to be 1-0 up. And it's a strong position, as we know, against Palace. And it's a strong position for a team that plays the way that Sean Dyche sets these teams up for. So just about to kick off for the second half. And we've got to see what Palace are going to do differently, even if there's no change in personnel. How are we changing this setup and the intent here?
I'm still confident. I don't know why, but we've kicked off. Lone Star Londoner says Burnley have just lost one of the last 36 Premier League games when leading at half-time. And remain unbeaten since the 2-1 defeat by Bournemouth at Turf Moor in May 2018.
Fantastic stats, but that has just taken the wind out of my sails.
Well, it depends how often they were actually doing that. This might be the first time that they were actually winning 1-0 at half-time.
129 drawn 6, does that say?
What?
129 drawn 6. Out of their last 36 Premier League games, 129 drawn 6 when leading at half-time. Just take that in.
Yeah.
That is depressing.
My maths. Wait, hold up.
I've got a quote. I've got a quote. Hesketh of the preview pod here, who tweeted at half-time to say, "My dog got his nuts chopped off today, and I'm not sure that was as painful as watching Palace so far."
Whoa! Why? What, did you get circumcised or something?
That's not what circumcision is, mate.
No.
Yeah, that is.
No, I'm circumcised. But is that like? Is that what he's trying to suggest?
We'll have a little chat after the show. I've got some things I'll probably need to educate you on.
Yeah, a bit.
Dogs get circumcised,
but I mean they can. But just so you know, for future reference, if someone tries to cut your balls off and they're saying it's a circumcision, it isn't. That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. Say no, Diyar. Say no.
Why would you circumcise a dog?
I don't know. Why would you cut a dog's nuts off?
Where would you even get the tool to circumcise a dog? Right.
Okay, why would you cut a dog's nuts off? Is that normal? Come on, like that.
Right, I've got a joke. I'm not sure if it's any good. Would it be a dog yen that did it? A dog, because it's a doyen, isn't it?
I don't know.
Doggen.
One for Mike. But
it works written down.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why you cut your nuts off if you're a dog. Like that's cruel. That's animal cruelty right there. But anyways, foul?
He said no.
I think. But Rodriguez almost nutmegged Kouyaté again there, and he was the last man.
He's having a game of his life.
Don't know if you've noticed, Diyar, but Tower One Power has said classic Diyar. Your reputation is building.
No, but why would you cut it? I don't know.
No, stop the question. Stop the question.
Right.
So here is a lesser spotted, kind and polite Brighton fan, James Long. Hi lads, I'm a Brighton fan. I've watched the streams before. Just here to leave a like. Good luck for the season. How are you playing? Well, thank you. We're playing dog shit. Please beat Burnley. Yes, we'll try.
We'll try, but we won't. Sorry about that. Here we go. Townsend's in a good position. Oh, what the hell was that? Come on, Andros. Not on the right wavelength with the rest of the team, but good intent from Palace, trying to get a little bit of intensity going. Burnley leaving 2 up. And as this half wears on, we've just got to keep pushing and taking risks there. But they're showing that again. It is a coming together. It is outside the box, so they're not going to be able to review it on VAR anyway. But
he was nutmegged for a second time by Rodriguez in this game.
Yeah.
Well, look, 2 minutes gone by, and that dog has confused me. I haven't been watching the game for the last 2-3 minutes, so I need to concentrate.
Were you Googling about dog circumcision?
No. I've just been thinking about why you would cut dogs' nuts.
Ahmet Genius answered you. You cut dogs' nuts off so they don't breed or to calm down the testosterone. So there you go. Diyar, can you speak some Turkish, please, from Emir? And Enes presumably has spoken some Turkish to you.
What should I say?
Say Crystal Palace are terrible.
Crystal Palace bok gibi. They're not terrible. They're that.
Okay. Well, I'll just have to trust you. You're accurate.
I said something more accurate than terrible.
Anyway, we've gone a bit quiet because we're trying to read Turkish. So let's move on from that. Palace again trying to mount some attacks here. Ball back with Kouyaté. He's looking for some options ahead of him. Burnley have got 5-6 players in our half. And, pressing relatively high up when we're trying to come out from the back. So we've got to try and break with a bit of pace. Klein's trying to do that. Ball into Andros. Few things opening up ahead of him, but plenty back now for Burnley. They're working really hard to close that space. Going to take a little bit of magic. Great pass.
Oh, that's pass. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He can pick out them passes. Central
Let's talk that through. That was an Eze masterclass. That was the first time we've properly broken their offside trap. Over to Van Aanholt, who crossed it in, and their defender just squeezed the leg and put it out before Mishi could tap it in.
That's
the corner. Who took the corner there?
I don't know. Our corners have been.
That was Townsend again. It was Townsend.
Yeah.
Poor. Yeah. A Lucas style looping corner.
I don't know. I mean, it must be because of the strength of the Burnley defence, right? They've got a lot of tall players. It must be that the kind of the whipped in Eze corner in swinger it's been decided that that's not really going to succeed against Burnley, and that's why we're going for these long kind of floated ones to try
cotton wool floaty thing that gives them even more chance to header it away.
Yeah, it's just awful, and we must see that that's not working. It's just one of those things. Have we worked on it all week, so we can't react to what's happening in the game ahead of us? I don't know, but we've got to do something different there. Got to mix it up.
Can I just give a bit of love to Klein going forward? I feel like I'm starting to wax lyrical about Klein more than anyone else wants us to, but he's looked good going forward.
Yeah, I mean, even though this hasn't been the best game to judge any player on, for me, he's just getting back to match fitness now. I've just been asked to say something. Can I say? I mean, I'm going to say this word with the best Turkish accent I can. Diyar, you'll have to tell me what I'm saying afterwards. Yarak.
No.
How bad a swear is that, or have I called myself something?
No, we'll talk about it after the game.
Okay. I'll tell you about dog circumcision. You can tell me. Yeah,
we'll trade information. But
deal.
Fred's loving the stream, guys. Keep up the good work. Thank you, and also
Fred.
Excellent name, Fred Snellgrove. Excellent name.
If you're enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. But yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, Fred. But in the first half, I was going to mention one thing, Amber. He wasn't here, of course, because he was going to the garage. In the first half, Gyro and Maka wasn't as involved when going forward. Have you noticed that? I think this half, if we see them more often, it could help as well in central areas.
As I said, Burnley first half picked up on it probably a little bit late for about halfway through the half in the end, but Burnley just weren't occupying any of that space. So it kind of left MacArthur and Gyro with no real, they had to move out of that area to have any kind of impact on the game, both defensively and offensively. So because they were following the players or, dropping out of position, it became very disjointed when we tried to attack. But you're right, we've sort of tried to do something about that, and part of trying to do something about that is just saying, well, fine, we'll chuck an extra body up. We saw MacArthur do it at the end of the first half to reasonable impact, and both of them are going to have to get up the pitch in this half. And we're approaching 55 minutes now. We're still one down, and we've got to start taking some risks soon.
Well, it looks to me in this half as though Riedewald is playing the proper Kante role. Like he's dropped back to the point it was barely in front of the defenders, and it's given Maka the chance of going up a bit more. The other thing, surely that was a pass back just then that wasn't picked up.
It's showing the Eze touch map, or whatever we call it. And it's all being down the left-hand side. I want to see him in more central areas, because every time he's been in the central areas, he has picked down them passes. So hopefully we see
he did that. He did that so well against Leeds, but I think part of that was obviously but also he had Zaha ahead of him, who was peeling off left all the time. And when you've got a player ahead of you peeling off left, but Batshuayi is not going to do that, and Ayew hasn't really been doing that at all. And I suppose in a way you just think, you've got to get in. But I'd keep Batshuayi central, but get Ayew to drift out to that left-hand side. Get him to fulfil the kind of Zaha role, and just give that extra little bit of support out on the left, and that will free Eze up to move central. And we see Burnley
Oh my days! We are lucky. That was an awful shot. Jeez, man.
But PVA nowhere to be seen. He was caught up the pitch. But that's what happens when you take risks. When you put yourselves in this position, look at PVA there, standing in the middle of the pitch, goes to the ball, understandably, because the defence is completely caught out. Koyate's come right out of position. See the centre backs going with the players this half, and Burnley exploiting that. And like I say, this doesn't happen if you're not chasing a game, and it will happen more. We've just got to rely on a bit of luck and some good defending to prevent going further behind.
Shot off target, no problem. Reece Smith, I'm that confident Palace will win. I put 200 quid on them as soon as they went 1-0 down. Reece Smith, you're an idiot.
Yeah. That has to be a lie, because there's no way you'd be proud.
Yeah, right. Isn't the final client blind or something? Is he wearing like a camo top or something? Why can't no one see his overlapping runs? Every time he's running down the right-hand side, it's like he's invisible. You don't want to see him. What's going on? He's made so many runs.
It's a mentality thing. I don't know if you think about it. Most of the season, it's been Joel Ward that side, and he just doesn't get up that far, really, does he? So they just might not be. It might not be naturally in anybody's head that they're going to have a player on the overlap. So Klein's got to be screaming from here on when he's in those positions.
But it's not his first game, Klein. He's been playing for a few games, so they should. I don't know. Like, he's down the right hand side. He's always open. He's making them runs. Just pick him out for once. They're leaving him open. Anyways, let's see. All right, just beat the ball straight to Burnley. Yeah. It's been better second half, I guess.
Yeah, I would say that not that it's been that great, but it's changed, and that's more than I expected from the first 10 minutes of the second half. So
seem like Burnley are a bit more, defensive, sitting back, making sure they don't concede a goal.
It's going to be nosebleed territory for them. They're going to start worrying. They're going to start doing the kind of thing we usually do. They're going to be panicking. They've got 2 points. I know they've played 2 less games than everyone else, but they've got 2 points this season, and this is proper unknown territory for them. So they're going to get worried.
Yeah, I mean, they still had the best chance of the second half playing like this, so it's not like
got a nice comment from Harry O CSGO TV there. It says Crystal Palace play like shit, and I would say probably 85% of the time you're absolutely right there. No argument from me.
But then when you look at the league table,
the 15%, mate, the 15%, is what it's all about.
That's why where we are.
So, guys, we're coming up to the hour mark. It might be a little early for Roy, but in terms of changes, we've got Benteke on the bench, we've got Schlupp on the bench as attacking options, and that is about it. But when do we have to do something about that, and will it really have the desired effect?
We talked about in half time. I think Jeffrey Schlupp has to come on, but who do you bring him on for? Because he plays on the left hand side, so you don't take off Eze because that's going to be absolutely stupid. Who do you take off? One of the strikers, and then put Schlupp up front?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about pre-season where we did that a little bit, I think if you've got Schlupp doing the Zaha role, if you like, or swap Eze and give him a little go playing that free role alongside one of the strikers at the moment, I mean, you've got to say probably Ayew working harder would have more of an impact staying on the pitch, but I just prefer Batshuayi as a player. But I don't think it would necessarily work with what we're trying to do here. But other than that, I mean, midfield seems like a waste at the moment. So, what they, neither Diyar or MacArthur are really getting any time on the ball. They're not really stopping anything from Burnley. So, maybe you take a real risk and get one of those guys off, drop Schlupp in, dare I say, centrally, or pull Eze across and play Schlupp out wide, and just go for it a little bit. I mean, certainly they last 20 minutes or so, yeah.
Is McCarthy on the bench?
Nah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say surely him for MacArthur would be the classic Hudson sub. But...
yeah, like for like swaps only. That's what we like.
Yeah.
What's Emir asking us, Diyar? He's asking us. He said your name and then my name with a question mark. What do we think?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Do I know?
Have FTB02 have Schlupp do what Zaha does, have him striker and drift around as such. I mean, that seems the obvious thing to do, and probably about now, on the hour mark, give him a decent chance. But nothing's going to happen for another 15 minutes. So
even playing like this, I still feel like we can still have that one chance. Like we have had the chances despite playing absolutely awful all game. So I'm just hoping that we get that one chance and we do finish it. So.
Well, it's like a chess game at the moment.
Go on!
Oh my days, Batsman! Is that Batsman? What are you doing?
I mean, look. I shouldn't laugh when we've just missed that chance, but what are you doing? Made me laugh.
Come on now.
I mean, I've got to say, well done to Pope, but Batshuayi's got to finish that.
And he was an offside as well. Oh.
Another chance from PVA. Did that take a deflection? No, it doesn't look like it did. In which case, that was very far wide. But Burnley looked rattled. They look worried, as you'd expect them to be. That's...
just left or right. Just left or right.
Marian Shamak would have put that away. Come on now.
Marian Shamak doesn't take shots. He's scared of shooting. I remember that. I don't know why, but he only had like 23 shots and he scored. He had a very good goal rate.
Yeah, he only shot when he was absolutely certain he would score.
I loved him. I loved him to bits, but I hate the fact that he cared about his stats so much. He just didn't shoot. He was just scared. But yeah, he would have probably passed it back. He would have passed it back. It's a definite goal. He would have turned around and found like Jason
Rodriguez.
J-Rod again.
I mean, good defending, but he's offside. Offside, please. Thank you.
That is a chance. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to get them chance and a half. I was just mentioning it, but surely you have to be finishing those.
Lone Star London are absolutely right. We were talking about looking forward to seeing the front two working together, but so far it's something that hasn't worked. The hope was that they would complement each other, but realistically, it's just left our system exposed without having one of them pulling wide. We're just not creating chances. There's no overload on our left. There's no overload through the middle. It's just, that's where we've struggled. I think, we've got to go back to the basics of how we've been playing, and get Schlupp on the pitch and take a bit of a risk and just try and overload down that left-hand side a little bit.
Harvey says, hello, beautiful to Hambo.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's to me. It could be to you. I mean, I'll take it. Any compliment I'm happy with.
Come on.
Even Calvin Andrews would have scored that. Dylan, yes, good point.
Can we just say it was Calvin Andrew, not Calvin Andrews?
Yeah, but he scored at the first Palace game I went to ever. I think it's Palace versus Preston North End, and I managed to witness him score a goal.
Come on you something. Come on you C.
It's either come on you Clarets or come on you other club beginning with C. You never know. But on Calvin Andrew, I've told the story before, but just for those of you who haven't heard it and haven't listened to a podcast for 10 years, I was once at a Palace friendly versus East Grinstead of all places, and I was spending most of the game laughing at Calvin Andrew, and I assume coincidentally he managed to hit me square in the stomach with a shot. It really hurt. Really, really hurt. I'm just going to say.
just making sound effects because I don't know what's going on, and we just lost the ball, but we just win it back with a tackle
Eze's picked
there.
it up.
Go on,
Ez. Oh, so close.
Hennessy might have put that away. No, if that was Hennessy, that was landing in my back garden.
But that was, I mean, again, the thought was right, but it's PVA getting forward once more down the left-hand side. There's as I was saying earlier, if we can get that overlap working better, we can get in down that side. Burnley aren't, the most mobile. You can play a couple of passes around them in that position. And then it's all about what we do from there. They had enough back to cut out that pass. But crossing it into the box, we've not got enough numbers in the box. But you can see that we're playing that little bit further up now.
It's a game of fullbacks.
Better.
It depends on what the fullbacks are going to do. They're just leaving the fullbacks to get in behind, and they're so narrow. So
ball to Andros. Go on, playing Klein.
Klein. Thank you. Oh my days. But yeah, fullbacks. That's
Still
it.
Got it.
Go on.
Here we go.
This is 18-yard pinball right now.
Oh my days.
I mean, if you're a Burnley fan, right now, you'd have your heart in your mouth, wouldn't you? You'd be fearing the worst. But naturally, as Palace fans, we're just fearing getting caught on a counter and it being 2-0.
We can score a goal. I know we can. Corner. Good corner, please. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what the hell's happened there, but we've still got it back.
We got it. Oh my days, they're blocking everything. What is this?
That's the entire team is back. That's how they're doing it. But
well,
waste there from PVA.
Yeah. It's not like we. Jeez.
RVK'd Bob Marley.
We get some weird comments.
No, I'll tell you what that is. I think that's probably some racism, is what that is. I think you're referring to Joe Riedeveld. So yes, Harvey, it's 2020 here.
I was going to say, if you think about it, there was a period of time where we did sing a Bob Marley song during administration, didn't we? Do you remember? It was Every Little Thing's Going to Be All Right.
Yeah, true.
And it's not a reference to that because he's not a Palace fan, but I'm going to take it as a reference to that, to being together in adversity. We're losing now, but we're gonna stick together and get something out of this game. I don't believe a single word of what I just said. Come on, boys.
Kuate last man again, and a heart in my mouth there. I mean, it's got to happen because we're pushing forward, and it's got to be done, and it's more exciting than the rest of the game put together. But
sorry, I just enjoyed No Zaha, No Cry from Tower One Power. Good work, mate. Right,
so that's the opposite, isn't it?
I mean, it is. It's but no, it's So No Zaha, Cry, a lot of cry.
Can we get a time check? Someone decided to call me, even though it's on Do Not Disturb. So
I'll tell you, it's 66 minutes now.
Yeah, I'm 5 seconds again. I'm 66 now. So
yeah, you're behind us. So 66-10 now.
66-10. Okay, 66-10 now.
So Gyro's off and Schlupp is on.
So Schlupp is in midfield. Hambo loves this. He always raves on about Schlupp being a midfielder. One of our best midfielders at the club.
But in fairness, this time I did sort of suggest it earlier. But I'll be interested to see what happens. Does he play central, or does it mean Eze is going to come a bit more central and Slupp's going to play a little bit wide left? Or are we going to see a shift in formation to a midfield three?
Well, John Gibbs there would have taken MacArthur off.
Yeah, I can get that. I get that, but
I mean, Riedeveld was playing the screening role. MacArthur's playing the more forward role. So if they're keeping him there, then that could be why.
It's still positive, anyways. It's a positive sub.
Potentially. I'm just trying to see how we're going to line up. It's not the best place to judge when Burnley have the ball, though. We'll have to look at what happens when we attack. But so far, Jeffrey Schlupp is very much in the centre of midfield. And it looks like Roy's gone like for like, which, if we lose this game, might be a topic of irritation for me. But hey, let's not think like that yet.
Nice. Oh, stop passing it into them. Yes.
Jordan Ayew. Oh, dear.
Oh, my
Back out to Eze.
Yeah, just
the box.
Trying to pick out them passes. They're so tight. Oh my God, lost the ball again.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we've had to go back again. But I don't mind that, keeping possession, keep the pressure on, because you've got to try and force a mistake. Realistically, at the moment, we're heading to territory where, we'll get back in this game if they make a mistake only. And
we done this against Brighton, but they're putting like 3-4 attackers, and they managed to score a goal in the last minute. So hopefully,
I mean, Harvey is coming up with some gems here. Onions don't belong on pizza. You are so wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, I can't have onions because there's just too much. There's this sweetness in them at the moment. I can't be doing with that. But mate, beautiful on a pizza. Sort of like that.
Is Eze in midfield, or is that Schlupp? Where's Schlupp?
Well, that Schlupp there.
Yeah, Schlupp. Yeah, that's
Schlupp. Yeah, Schlupp's definitely playing.
Yeah, it's midfield. Yeah.
He's playing right in the centre. It's just I'm trying to see if we've gone to a midfield three and pushed Townsend right.
Interesting VAR. I'll see what happened there. So couldn't see from the angle we were at. I think his hand was probably in his silhouette and all that crap. But
yeah, I don't know. I thought chest when he hit it first, but again, I wasn't really looking for it. I just thought I was too busy thinking about what an annoying cross it was. But there we go. Doesn't seem to be any real major look at it, and Eze's just given the ball away on the edge of the penalty area, and Burnley will. Well, they're not going to break like that. They're going to try and keep the ball for as long as possible and try and soak up more of this pressure. And some clever play there to win the foul.
Cool. Well, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so don't miss out on future content. And also after the game, potentially, most likely, I'll be hosting the post-match show. So if you want to come on and have your say,
I've got to drive. I've got to drive from Reading to Crawley after the game. So yeah. I won't be there, dear. Just saying.
You're never there anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But yeah. But if you want to come on and have your say, DM us on Twitter, and then we'll bring you on. Have a little video chat. Okay. Oh, offside. All right, we've got the ball. Last time I'm going to bet on Crystal Palace. Yeah, betting on Crystal Palace in the first place is not smart.
Yeah, don't read his comments out. He used a disableist slur before that. So just a silly little boy. Here we go. Klein on the right-hand side. Cuts it back to Townsend. Just poor. And realistically, we're going to get caught on a break here if we're not careful. Well done by Guaita. But the risk level is up for Palace. I've got to say, I moan about it, so I can't complain when we're doing it. We are taking risks. Being 1-0 down, I'm not happy about. But the fact that we are taking risks to get back in the game, I'm actually more pleased at that than normal. Normally, I'd be expecting us to leave it to the last 5 minutes and be very angry. So, I'm almost positive about that.
Fred, fullbacks are far too forward and it leaves the back open. I mean, I don't think we've got a lot of choice now, really. I think the crossover is one of the only ways that we're getting any joy. So yeah, it's a toss up. It's why we could end up losing 2-0, but I think it's worth taking the risk.
Yeah, fullbacks are only hope in this game at this point. They're so narrow. We just need the width. So PVA and Klein.
Well, here we go. This is the time to break. We've managed to block it. It's with Eze on the left-hand side. Not exactly sprinting forward, and nor has anyone else. But we, good feet, but giving the ball away. No foul given to there, and he can't quite believe it. But I just think the pace that we broke there was poor, considering the situation of the game.
Come on, we're just so poor.
Oh my God! Good save by Guaita.
What a save! Jeez, they could have had 2-3 goals. They could have had 2-3 goals easily in the second half. Now we're talking about us dominating it, but it's not. We've seen it in the past. It's not about possession. It's about what you do with the ball.
Yep.
Just like the Wolves game, Burnley just letting us keep the ball because they know that we won't be able to break them down.
Well, no, not at the moment. Again, it's still too slow-paced for me. You're not going to break a team with these numbers back. You're not going to break them down playing at this pace. And that's not to say you get careless with it, but when you've got that opportunity, when you move them around, you've got to move quickly. There's no real quick movement from anyone ahead of the ball. And that's really going to cost us unless we can find just that little clever pass somewhere. I mean, the spare players are still the fullbacks, still the players that are wandering. Here we go. That's it. Play it into Batshuayi. That's just gone wide.
Just one touch passes. One touch passes. That's what we need to do.
Dylan, it
And that's
wouldn't
what
be
I'm-
in Palace nature to beat Leeds 4-1 and win this game. No chance. Yeah, that's very, very true. Yes. Winning one, then losing one seems to be what we're going to deal with until things change.
Enes biraz zor. Sana söyleyeyim biraz zor.
Yeah, I completely agree, Diyar.
You probably do.
Good little play, but just again, it's the numbers back that are just sort of snuffing out the danger. But I mean,
Suicidal ball there.
Great. Oh, come on, you've got to play Eze in earlier than that. He just waited for him to get back. Go on, Ez. Go on. Oh, another pass into Batshuayi. He's just caught on his heels and it goes straight out of play.
But I mean, Batshuayi's had a poor game, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, very ineffective. To be honest, I can't really see him having too much of an impact. He just go on.
Who's been effective?
Yeah, well, not too many, but
Eze's been on a ball, but even him, like he's made some good passes. They're just very narrow, and no one else can really create anything right now. I mean, Jordan Ayew, has he done anything particular that stands out?
Not really. I mean, he's been more involved in the second half for sure. But again, he's not been dangerous, has he? Let's face it. He's not looked at either of those forwards and just thought, they are a real goal threat at all. And I know that's something of a consistent thing under Hodgson. No strikers really feel like they're ever going to be a goal threat, but we can definitely do better than this, quite frankly. But the level we're playing at now is the level we should have played at from the very start, and we wouldn't be in this position.
To be fair, even the level we're playing at now, Hambo, I know this is going to sound weird, but just like the Wolves game, in the second half where we dominated it and they just sat back, have we even changed our style, or is it just Burnley sitting back? Because in the first half, they're pressing us. They're pressing us, and that's what we don't take into consideration. They're not really pressing us as much.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, they've done what we tend to do when we're 1-0 up.
So it's not the fact that we change, because we're still playing too slow. We're playing too slow. One-touch passes. We need to be a bit more compact.
Wait till you see that. Just wait.
Are you?
Oh,
come on. It looks like Benteke's coming on. He's pulling his socks up to a reasonable length, like the proper professional that he is. Looks like Townsend's coming off. If that's the case, what the F?
He's the way. Imagine Benteke out loud. That'd be funny.
but I mean, you can just see the logic. Put Benteke on and then take off the only player who's put a cross in today.
Yeah. But what other options have we got?
No, I know. But let's.
Well, don't take Batshuayi off. I mean,
yeah.
But having said that, I mean, Batshuayi alongside Benteke might actually work. That's the kind of player he needs up with him.
You just have to hope that Jordan Ayew puts in crosses. That's all.
Indeed. But yeah, we're trying to play through a crowd of players. I'm not sure. It's almost, we're
not ready for the situation. That's where we always struggle when we're 1-0 up. We're not ready to.
Now, take Townsend off before the corner so that Eze can take the corner.
Yeah, this is like the
SquarePants, sweet and sour.
My watch just started telling me about SpongeBob SquarePants. Why is that?
Why not? On that retro gaming system I've got, there's a good old fashioned SpongeBob SquarePants game from the Mega Drive or something. That was
But that feels like quite a strange thing to.
Oh, it's Ayew. He's gone off. It's not Townsend.
Why did you guys say Townsend?
The cameras thought it was. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, Ayew's gone off. All right. No, that makes sense. I know you could have took off either Michi or Jordan. And, yeah. But let's see now if Andrew's going to put them crosses in that he was putting in before Benteke came on. That's the most important question.
See, Andrew's thinking about a Man City style volley there, but didn't do it.
Scott Dunn, the absolute last person you want to be seen as the ball was played across the box. Turning circle of a tractor. Missed the ball by about 5 yards.
I enjoyed it, and this is I got a lot of time for Scott Dann. He's been brilliant for us of late.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the fact that as he physically looked like he was speeding up, he appeared to slow down. I don't know how you do that. That's impressive.
He's so good that he bends time.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a Benteke goal.
Can someone block the racist guy that keeps writing shit, please?
Yeah.
Fuck off, Harvey, you racist bastard. Just get rid of him.
I'm not even looking at the chat like that. He's blocked.
Right, again, let's see what Eze can do. He's keeping the ball like it's stuck to him, but it's just it's too slow.
That's a bit much.
Taken down by J-Rod.
Go on, that's a foul. That's a foul. Where's the card?
He's going to get a card.
Where's the card?
Surely.
No, it's not. Is he? He didn't get a card.
He's pulled his there. That's if he's got to get. I mean, if he'd got a card just then when he should have done, that would have been a second.
Finally. Thank you.
Palace through. Come on. He pulled it back. Where's off the advantage? Honestly.
What the fuck is wrong with this ref?
Is this Eze territory?
Nah. Actually, let me.
Rodriguez, you really are.
Twat.
Here we go. Right.
No, it's not square enough on for Eze, is it?
No, if he takes a shot from there, he must be a bit mad. Saying that,
I don't know.
he's this goal. Last week. Actually, last week it seemed like it was a bit close to the goal.
No, it was a bit closer.
This is a cross the Benteke situation. Cross the Benteke. Oh, look. There's pushing in the
Ryan,
box.
how long left? There's just over 10 minutes.
Look at that.
Demonkos? Sorry, man. Can Palace win? No, wouldn't thought so. Take a point right now all day long. Palace hopeless to win or draw. I don't know. This is more concerted effort than we've put in when we've been 1-0 down in other situations like this. So.
Oh yeah, Benteke did play for the under-23s a couple of weeks ago, Adam, and he what do you call it? He did score a banger. 77.
He did, yeah. From the sort of edge of the box, just out of nowhere. Yeah. It was a great finish, but Kev, have we even created a chance like that? We certainly haven't, have we? So
I think under-23s are a bit different to the first team Premier League football against Burnley.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's somewhere in there is a very good striker, but we haven't seen him for 3 seasons, so I'm not holding up any hope.
You can say that for anyone. Somewhere in there's a very good striker, Connor Wickham, but
I still think that.
Will Burnley's first win of the season? I mean, it's looking that way at the moment. Yeah.
So typical.
It was written in the stars for it to happen, wasn't it? Really.
I was so confident going into this game. I haven't been as confident as I was going into this game, and we managed to get Wilf out of the starting lineup because it tested positive, and now we're losing 1-0 against Burnley. We have struggled all season long.
But I think we. It's not. I mean, it's not like it's a surprise. You could be confident before this game, and like me, you could expect Palace to. And I did expect Palace to win, and I think it's unacceptable that we've ended up in this position. Right, I really do. But I'm not overwhelmingly surprised. There's I don't think I'm an illogical person, and I've been fed up with the manager for a while. And this type of thing is why. And don't get me wrong, I love being wrong. I love it when we put a performance like the Leeds game, and I love it when people say, where are the Roy haters now? Because it means Palace are doing well, and we're winning football matches. But this is the stuff that, it happens in football, but it just, to me, I just feel like it happens so much. It's a waste of the squad that we got.
Odd thing there, Eze kept the ball on when it was going out for a corner. Just slightly strange. I am looking forward to not seeing the you're going to moan about Roy now comments after we've won. That's the one silver lining of looking after the Twitter. I won't have to deal with any of that crap.
No, but at the same point, it's just as annoying seeing people go, "Oh, where are the Roy lovers now?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Just have your opinion and just be done with it. You don't have to keep calling everybody out all the time. If you do that,
we have to fill an hour podcast, people, just to remind you that.
Exactly.
We
Spaffy with IE's lost his way, needs dropping for a bit.
How do you feel about that,
Spaffy, come on now. I mean, the man scored a goal last game.
But he has struggled this season before that, though. Yeah.
He'll always come back. It's Ayew. He's the GOAT.
He's the Ghanaian prince. You'll always find a way back.
Mark Corbett, as a Palace fan, confidence will get knocked out of you. Exactly. I think that's exactly Hambo's point. You can never have full confidence because you know that this is just round the corner. You know after an amazing performance, you're just going to end up with absolute turd for 90 minutes. Like it will keep us up. Yeah, it will mid-table or lower mid-table, but it's the hope that bends you over and bums you.
Come on, I mean that is fun language, but come on, mate.
Can you have high expectations and low expectations and high confidence? Does that work?
No, you could be highly confident about having low expectations. Yeah, I could be highly confident that Palace are going to let me down regularly. Okay,
because I had low expectations going in. Like for the season, even when we're winning games, I think 17th and above is a good season under Roy. Hopefully, he proves me massively wrong. But in going into this game, I was very confident. So, yeah. But anyways, look, Burnley player was injured for the last 2-3 minutes. That's why we haven't mentioned anything about the game. But it seemed like he survived whatever happened to him.
Yeah, we've just you can see the sort of belief that we're going to get something seems to have ebbed out of some of the team. You know, some are playing at a pace that's just like, well, this game's done. Whereas some are trying. You can see MacArthur, his body language is just positive. He's trying to get something from people around him. But, you know, you got other players jogging through the pitch and just walking around. And that just goes to show you that the belief has gone a little bit out of the side.
Well, MacArthur's playing to undo his international retirement in time for the Euros. Now Scotland doing it, so he's got a point to prove. having voluntarily retired the Scotland team, he's got to play pretty well to get back in the side.
Ahmed says, since Benteke's been on, we ain't crossed the ball once.
Yeah, and that's the way. That is the Palace way. We do not like to cross if he's on the pitch. Look, if we cross it, there's a danger he might score a goal. We can't have that, can we?
No.
There it goes. It's full. Just... Again, that's a waste. It's just panic.
Look at the right.
It's our £20 million valued striker playing the ball to James MacArthur for a shot.
That's it.
Oh, that's down the right. It's annoying. Every time I see Clyde open, I get more annoyed. I'd rather he was not open because there's the opportunity always there. Always.
Come natural on a losing streak, playing shit. Don't worry. Play Palace and watch your season turn around. Because Palace turned shit into shit. Yeah.
And that, I mean, really, we might just read that out as a podcast tomorrow.
Is it West Brom next after Newcastle? It is.
Oh, come on! Oh yeah, have your hand up. Have your hand up. Well, that's
a yellow card. That's a yellow card. Give him that yellow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we do the same to West Brom next week.
Watch when we have a game of our lives against Newcastle, and then somehow struggle against West Brom. We'll be here on Friday as well.
Might.
Might.
Decided yet?
Oh.
I mean, it's just not falling for us either, is it? And that's poor from Townsend too.
Yeah, it's looking.
Oh dear. Well, there you go. We're just coming up to. By the time they take that goal kick, I was going to say it'd be 87 minutes. It'd probably be 88 by the time they take the goal kick. Not going to be much more of an opportunity in this game. But in fairness, I've got to say, I mean, if you look at the positivity of how we've approached the second half, you might have a case for saying we deserve a draw. But my gut says the way we started the game, the way we approached it. The fact that we didn't think this team are having a bad time of it, we've got to take it to them and sort of show a bit of confidence and belief from the off. The fact that we didn't do that yet again, I think we've got what we deserved here so far.
I mean, let's say we're not Leeds fans. We're not going to spend the next week moaning that it was unjust. It wasn't. They've hit the bar as well. We've had a lot of possession second half, a lot of chances, but they're not good chances.
They've had better chances than us in the second.
much better.
But I know what's going to happen after the game. I know what's already going to happen. People are going to say, "Well, we should have at least got a point out of that game." But we were better in the second half.
It's not been the worst performance of the season by any stretch.
It hasn't.
Overall, I'd say performance-wise, it's probably better than the Southampton win. But it's still very. I mean, the pace is the problem. Oh, Benteke, come on! I mean, he's actually done the right thing there, but no one's gambling. No one's up there.
And he's getting dragged behind.
What do you guys think of the match Wolves-Southampton? I care a lot less than I would have cared if we'd won. I don't know. The Southampton we played at the start of the season is very different from how they are now. And Wolves looked very, very good. So from a Palace perspective, I think both sides would probably give us a run for our money right about now. So
I've got to say, I keep expecting the sort of Southampton bubble to burst a little bit, and I think Wolves are the better side. But there's something about the way Southampton are playing, the confidence that they've got, and the fact that players who weren't chipping in last time, last campaign, Che Adams, for example, the fact that they're now chipping in. They had Ings out the other day, and they were still great. And the fact that I hate Ward-Prowse makes it very, very difficult to deal with, but he's been playing really well. But again, my gut says the Wolves are the better side and should win that. But my gut says Palace are the better side here. Go on. Oh, God. What a save that is from Pope. You just
my days. Come on.
Whose dick have you guys suck? Seriously.
You always ask that question. Oh, he's thing is, look at the keeper.
Oh my!
The keeper knows nothing about that. He's just got his arms out like that, and it hits him.
No, that's a good save. He died.
No, it is a good save to do what he did, to just gamble and spread himself as wide as he can to stop it. Great save. But the fact that it just sums Benteke's luck up that the keeper does not know. Benteke's prodded it past him. He's gone past his dive. It's just his arms are out, and
he sacrificed himself for Burnley.
I don't think he's hurt at all, frankly.
Huh?
Just playing for time. He's not hurt.
Oh,
maybe he is. I think his head might have got trodden on. I might have to take that back.
No,
that's nothing in that.
To his head.
Nothing in that at all. He's fine.
But we're watching replays. You don't know.
I don't want to see the replays anymore. I'm not going to look at the screen for a bit.
A certain Adam Clacker has said that I think the dog circumcision reenactment with Play-Doh is going to be the highlight of the week. Well, we'll be getting on with that straight after the show and after Diyar's done his post-match stuff. I'll be educating Diyar on dog circumcision, and Diyar will, of course, be telling me what I said in Turkish earlier on.
Yeah. He's all right. Stand up, Nick. Come on. Let's just end the game. Let's just all go and do other things.
Callum, we committed a cardinal sin against these guys, unfortunately, let an early goal in. I mean, Callum, I think the problem we've got is letting an early goal into any team at the moment. But obviously, Burnley. I'd like to say, like Hammer said, this hasn't been the worst performance of the season, certainly in the second half. But it was the first 25, 30 minutes that sealed us. Obviously, a lot of the other times we would have put one of these chances away, but there was no need to be as defensive at the beginning as we were.
I said at the start of the game, Burnley, as soon as they go 1-0 up, they seem like they do well. As soon as we go 1-0 down, we struggle. So it really depended on who scored the first goal. They scored the first goal, and exactly played out how we expected it to be. But Todd says hello from America. Hello,
hi, Todd.
Sajid from Bangladesh. Wow.
What?
From everywhere. How you doing?
Well, that's two places. That's two places. It's not everywhere, is it?
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I do, but I'm amusing myself by annoying you.
If you close the night 7, I'll be fuming.
Yeah, it's
time
waste.
Come on, Nick, man. I just want to end this game. But if you have been enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because why not? Why don't you want to see us just sit and moan about Palace for 90 minutes? Like we have.
Hey, they got a lot more than that this week.
There's only one silver lining here, people. Burnley have got another game in hand, so they could go above Brighton.
Shout out to Austin, Texas for Lone Star there. It's the Lone Star State. I get it. And also Olin, who's watching in Oregon. Those Diyar are both in America, so it's still just two places, two countries.
Shout out to San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
Do you know anything about Bangladesh? Yes, I know that they managed to get a test draw against us in the cricket at home last year, so that was disappointing.
But
I think in Bangladesh,
a country of about 138 million, I think, Sajat.
Hey, Mike, have you got any other interesting facts about Bangladesh?
Apparently Texas in America.
Tamim Iqbal is an excellent player.
I mean,
let's just do a Trump and say we won. If it's got to that, Callum.
Yeah, Premier League, give us 3 points. We did win deep down. We should have won the game, so we deserve all 3 points. Because the pre-match predictions, it seemed like we were going to win. So... Recount. They say 1-0, but that goal was posted in, and it was posted by a dead guy. It's you know,
watching from Sherbrooke in Canada. Hello to Big No 12. Excellent name. Texas ain't America. Fair enough.
I want to go to Canada, but I have got history on this this watch along for saying I don't understand Canada because it is too big and not enough
cold
roads.
As well. It's cold as well.
I don't mind the cold, mate. Yeah.
I can't do that. Even here, I can't do it.
Cricket love at Shakab Al Hassan. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, love my cricket, but and I do love watching. Bangladesh tend to be my second team, or West Indies and Bangladesh. I like to see them win most of the time, unless they're playing England.
Evelyn says post press conference we will put on first half. They got an early goal and we'll have to break down. We were playing the second half, but just couldn't convert our chances. I swear down. That's what I swear to you. That's what we're going to hear.
Screenshot that Diyar and then check it against the comments later on. Here goes. Say go on. Is that a foul? Please say that's a foul. That's a foul. Right.
It's not even a corner, is it?
No. Oh. That would have been from the exact spot he scored the free kick from against Leeds.
Nah, England's not as cold as Canada, I'm pretty sure.
Actually, okay, the ball's gone, but he's collided with him. Luka got sent off for that, for getting the man after the ball. So that's a free kick all day.
Jay Rodriguez, man of the match, touches in the box, the most in the game, sprints the most in the game, shots the second most in the game.
Yeah, well, there you go. He's been really, really good for Burnley. Yeah, can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Eze's played decent in the central part of the pitch, so it just shows that he needs to play a cam role from Samuel Topman.
He does. Even when he's playing out wide, as long as he can go into central positions, then I'm fine with that as well. I don't think we're going to see him in a cam role under Roy Hodgson. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, Cam is central attacking midfielder, so central position. I don't think he will be starting there. But,
missed opportunity today from Palace, from Lone Star Londoner.
Hello, Benteke City. Oh, for God's sake.
Look up, see it's Benteke. Realised. Benteke messed up yet again. Yes.
Yeah, I blame Benteke for this defeat.
He didn't look up there. He didn't look up.
I don't know why he didn't shoot with his left foot.
I think that's the final whistle, and I think, frankly, the to only play two added minutes on the injury time there, when the Burnley keeper was down for about 4 or 5, was a bit frustrating. But there we go. We didn't deserve anything from it, really. The performance was definitely better. End of the first half and all of the second half, a better performance, but the damage was done in starting the game poorly, in my view.
Yeah, leave down your comments down below. Let us know what you think. But Mike, what do you make of the game? You seem like you're on shook. I don't know if you just saw something we didn't see.
I just that in the last 2 games is being a Palace fan in microcosm, isn't it? It's just one of the best games we've seen in recent years, followed by losing to the team with probably the worst form in fucking professional football. We've given them their confidence back. Disastrous. I think we played right in the second half. Obviously, took a risk. Not usually going to do that because we get hit on the counter. Luckily, Burnley had given up and were playing 11 men at the back, basically. I just, it just proves the point that whilst Hodgson will keep us up and do all right, he's not the answer. And that's why I've been sort of middle ground between people arguing about it all this time. And it's just these last 2 games to show it.
Yeah, but I feel like he shouldn't be sacked until the end of the season. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to talk about sacking. It's a poor game. It was other days we would have scored. If that shot had fallen to anyone other than Ben Teke, would have probably.
But that's where I am as well. I mean, the whole discussion about Roy all the time. As soon as when you criticise, people think that you're immediately saying sack him. And there's been times where I've said I've had enough, but that doesn't mean that I want the very next thing to happen the very next day to be sacking Roy. I don't, because you've got to make that decision. But it just says, it says to me that, this is not the way forward for this club and this squad, particularly as we need to do more refreshing of that squad. There's older players in it. There's people coming to the end of contracts. We've got to start getting to that point where we're really planning for doing something a bit different, because we keep saying we will stay up. But, for me, we'll stay up this season, but much more of this type of thing. You'll start to lose the flair players because they won't want to come and play for you. You'll start to really alienate your fan base. And most of all, season on season, teams are working us out more and more and more. We become way too predictable. And for me, that means you've got to have a plan in place to change something. And that does mean changing the manager at the right moment. And for me, the right moment, I actually think, is before the end of the season, but not straight away. I think get through Christmas, get the January window done, get a couple more bodies in the squad, and then towards the end of the season, let's get safe and then start to bring that change in. But results, if we play like that against most teams in the league, we won't be getting the results that we keep taking for granted that we'll get, and the change will have to come sooner.
Yep. Well, look, I'm going to be talking about the game with another stream in about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you want to head over to that, which will start, keep your eyes on that. There'll be a review show out tomorrow, previewing and reviewing the game. And best of luck to you guys who's doing a review show, because I'm probably busy. I'll be honest with you.
Are you?
What is Michael? You're right. I'm probably busy. I think I am. Yeah.
You sure? What time are you free? We can schedule it so you're free if you like.
I think I'm at 12 to 9.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do it 9. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. That would be fine. If I don't come home late. But anyways, look, we'll talk to you guys later. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, up the Palace.